Hello, this is Aisha Gül. Welcome to my class. So today's class is going to be 15 minutes lesson, by the way. My topic is on past perfect continuous tense. This lesson is designed for advanced learners of English. So before starting the lesson, I wonder that how are you? How's it going? You feel good? Well? So, I hope you're well. You're all doing well. I'm feeling perfect for the lesson. So, let's get started. Okay. In this lesson, we'll cover what the past perfect continuous tense is, how to form it, and when to use it. Okay. So, we are going to focus on one of the most confusing tense in English grammar, past perfect continuous. Maybe you're all familiar with like present simple past or past perfect tense, but when it comes to the past perfect tense, past perfect continuous, it's completely different. So because you can't use past perfect continuous by its own, so you need at least two actions to activate the tense, all right? And we use past perfect continuous to describe the event which happened earlier than the other events. Okay, it's just a short description. So let me introduce you some past perfect continuous examples to form to up you. Okay. So the man had been running for an hour when it started to rain. The man had been running for an hour and then it started to rain. Okay, the man has already been running, right? And then it started to rain when he was running, right? So we form our past perfect continuous tense like this. The man had been running. The man had been running. You saw the process, right? The man had been running, and then when he was running, the rain, it started to rain, right? Perfect. So another example, the children had been playing in the park for 2 hours when their parents arrived. Okay, let's analyze this sentence. The children here had been playing in the park for 2 hours. All right, attention here. For 2 hours, the children had been playing. While they are playing, their parents arrived. Okay, they are playing and the parents are arrived. Okay, so we form our past perfect continuous tense like the children have been playing in the park for 2 hours and then their parents arrived. All right, is it clear? Good. So let me give you another example. The students had been studying for the exam all night long. The students, maybe, okay, I'm student and I had been studying for the exam all night long when their parents arrived. Okay, the students had been studying for the exam all night long. They are studying and then their parents has arrived. All right, so we form our past perfect continuous tense. The students had been studying for the exam all night when their parents arrived. Okay, perfect. So did you notice that all situations contains at least two actions, right? Because the students are studying, their parents come, and the children playing and their parents come. All right, there is at least two situations. Did you notice that? Okay, so now I'm going to explain the mentality of past perfect tense and what is the structure or what is the logic of past perfect tense and past perfect continuous. All right, because our subject is past perfect continuous. So let me explain you. You have one action happened earlier, okay? You have one action happened earlier and in the past and it's just start happening until the other action interrupted it, okay? This is the main logic. If you just perceive this point, you are not going to see any hardship, all right? So please think like that. You have an action, it happened earlier in the past, and it's just start happening until the other action interrupted it, okay? This is the main logic. So, as I said before, one action start in the past. Okay, this is our action. It start in the past and it continues from. It's a progressive event, all right? And it start until one action interrupted this one, all right? So generally interrupting action will be in the past simple form, okay? So I'm going to show you the structure on grammar rules for past perfect continuous. So there are three: positive, negative, and question. So first one is positive sentence. Positive form of sentence in past perfect continuous is be like subject had been. This is our rule. Subject had been, verb ing, because we want add in it is progress, right? So we add verb in ing. So let me give you an example about it. We had been trying to open the door for 5 minutes when Jane found her key. Okay, so let's analyze this sentence. We have subject we, and we put had been because this is our past perfect rule, and we put trying. We put ing at the end of the verb because we want progressive, we want continuous tense. So our sentence is be like we had been trying to open the door. Okay, this is our progressive past perfect continuous tense, and the other half of the sentence when Jane found her key is of course become a simple past tense, okay, because we have at least two sentences. Okay, so let's skip negative sentences. Negative sentence is be like subject, of course, had subject, and had, and not, of course, because we want to do it negative sentence. So subject, had, and not, and of course the other same rules as we mentioned, being and verb ing. Let me give you an example. It hadn't been raining since last fall. It hadn't been raining since last fall. Okay, so let's analyze it. It our subject, and had our past perfect, and not because we want negative sentence, and being, this is our rule, and raining we add at the end of the verb ing since last fall. Okay, is it clear? Perfect. So let's skip question form. Question form, we take the had and put the start of the sentence. Okay, had and subject and being and verb of course verb ing. Okay, so let me give you an example. Had you been waiting long before the taxi arrived? let's analyze it. Had you, we put had start of the sentence. Had you our subject, and been our rule, wait our verb, and then we add at the end of the verb ing. Had you been waiting long? This is our past perfect continuous tense, the correct form. Okay, perfect. So let me explain the description of what is past perfect continuous tense. Okay, the past perfect continuous tense is used to describe an action start in the past and continued for a period of time and was still ongoing at a specific point in the past. Okay, and it formed using like auxiliary verb, which auxiliary verb had been, this is our verb, and the present participle, which is ing, form the main verb, right? Yes. So how to form past perfect continuous tense? We can understand regularly, maybe it became more clear. So how to form past perfect continuous tense? We mentioned about it. To form past perfect continuous tense, we use had been plus the present participle ing form of the main verb, right? Okay, so who wanna give me an example? You, please. Perfect, thank you. I had been studying for hours when he called me. I had been studying for hours when he called me. Perfect, thank you. So, who wanna give me another example? Okay, you. Okay, perfect. She had been working on the project since Monday. She had been working on the project since Monday. Thank you. So, when to use past perfect continuous tense? Let's mention about it. When to use past perfect continuous tense? We use the past perfect continuous tense to describe an action that started in the past and was still ongoing at a specific point in the past. Okay, so it's often used to describe a background action, right? Like this background action that was happening while another action took place. For example, I had been playing tennis for an hour when it started to rain. It is background action, right? It's indicate the background action because I had been playing tennis for an hour and when it started to rain, I was already playing tennis for an hour, right? Okay, perfect. Let me give you another example for make it more clear. She had been studying English for 6 months before she took the exam. It also indicate what? Indicate background action, of course, because she had been studying already English for 6 months before she took the exam, right? Is it clear? Okay, perfect. So the past perfect continuous tense can also used to describe a cause and effect relationship between two past action. Okay, for example, he was out of breath because he had been running for an hour. Why he became out of breath? Why? Because he had been running for an hour. It indicates cause and effect, right? He became out of breath because he had been running for an hour. So we form it past perfect continuous tense with he was out of breath because he had been running for an hour. Okay, is it clear? Perfect. So some examples of so let me give you much more examples about past perfect continuous tense, and then you'll give me your example sentences. All right? So firstly, I had been watching TV for 3 hours when my friends came over. I had been watching TV for 3 hours when my friends came over. Okay, so who wanna give me example sentences? Okay, you. They had been living in New York for 5 years before they moved to Los Angeles. Perfect, thank you. They had been living in New York, there's a process, for 5 years before they moved to Los Angeles. Okay, thank you. Who wanna give me another example sentence? Okay, you. The team had been practicing for weeks before the championship game. Okay, perfect. The team had been practicing for weeks. This is our process before the championship game. Right? Is it clear? Oh, thank you. So, another example. Okay, you. She had been studying French for a year before she went to Paris. Perfect. There is also a process. She had been studying French for a year. There's also a process before she went to Paris. She prepared herself, went to Paris so that she's studying French, right? Yes. So, in conclusion, thank you your example sentences, by the way. So, in conclusion, the past perfect continuous tense is used to describe an action that started in the past, alright? Continued for a period of time and was still ongoing at a specific point in the past. So, let me summary a little bit. It's formed using the auxiliary verb. Which auxiliary verb? Had been, thank you, and the present participle, which is ing form of the main verb. So the past perfect continuous tense is often used to describe a background action or a cause and effect relationship between two past actions, right? So we have a little bit exercise. I can't show you right now, but let me read for you. So, who wanna read it? Okay, you. I'm gonna read and then you'll give me your answer, right? Okay. I, blah blah, our verb is work all day. So, I didn't want to go out. Okay, your answer. I had been working. Perfect, thank you. I had been working all day. So I didn't want to go out. All right? So another exercise is she, blah, blah, sleep, our verb is sleep, for 10 hours when I wake her up. Who wanna solve this? Okay, you. She had been sleeping for 10 hours. Perfect, thank you. She had been sleeping for 10 hours when I wake her up. Perfect. So, the last one, they blah blah live in Ankara for 3 years when he lost his job. Who wanna? Okay, you give me your answer. They had been living, perfect, they had been living in Ankara for 3 years when he lost his job. Perfect, thank you. So that's it. I hope you find this lesson helpful. Our lesson has been finished, and this lesson is our last lesson. Thank you for participating. Look after yourself. Bye.